Welcome to ECNTRADE daily video. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration. Hello everyone, my name is Rob Clayton and thank you for joining me. Well, the Australian dollar rebounded off the lows of 74.70 overnight, but not quite getting the technical implications to support a bullish case. It is assessed that while remaining underneath the midway point and the trend that's supporting a negative outlook or signal is a fact that we should see further risk to the downside. I hold the view towards 74.20 at this point and reassess from there. With the dollar index, which measures the greenback strength against a basket of 6 major currencies slightly slipping from Friday's rally, has initiated a small retracement for euro after it bounced off the level of 118.60. It is assessed that the market from a technical point still remains in a somewhat negative pattern here. Looking at the RSI and ADX, it supports a negative trend, and also with the MACD remaining negative also. I do anticipate further weakness, and with the view of pushing towards the downside of 117 to 118 as a potential target. Do note that we've got Jerome Powell speaking later, and the market will be keeping a very close watch on his assessment on how he sees the markets, especially inflation, and also after some hints of more to the fact of a tilted hawk of a couple of the FMOC members could still see a stronger US dollar up to 93 on the index. And this should give further pressure on the euro as it's weighted to the US dollar at 57.6. Looking at the dollar yen case, market rebounded off the 109.5 level and still holding in this short-term upward channel. It is assessed, if you check out the RSI, that it is still somewhat buckled and therefore could still see the market slowly dwindle down, and that is taking out this short-term trend and looking at 108.5 as a potential target. Very impressively, the sterling has bounced off that 138 figure 10 level, but not quite getting the positive signal it wanted with the RSI as it holds underneath the midway point. We've still got a trend holding a negative signal and a negative MACD. It is assessed that further risk could come back towards the downside and look back towards this 138 level and reassess. This should see the gains given back from sterling yen and look back towards that 152 low region. Looking at the gold aspect, well, the level of 1,760 held, but not quite out of this pattern that supports a negative decline. Or should I say, more to the point, close to this rejection point that we saw last week of 1,798, that is on Friday. The market could take out the level of 1,760 and look down towards 1,720. The reason behind that is that we're still somewhat quite negative from the technical aspects. Finishing off with oil, the market rebounded overnight and back towards that 73 handle. Looking at the indicators, though, do be aware that as the market pushes up, we're seeing divergence from the RSI and therefore could put some implication towards a bearish case and look back towards that 68.5 level, which is what I'm viewing as this pattern slowly unfolds. That is to a bearish case. That wraps up for today. Thank you very much for joining me. As always, look out for the intraday report. Hope you enjoy the great start ahead.